My goal for today is to give you some clarity and hopefully a starting point so you can reset your life and go on to create and live your best dream life in 2025. So the first thing you need to do is to consider your personal brand. This is not your brand when it comes to business or your brand when it comes to your product. I'm talking about you. Who are you? What do you stand for? And what is it that you want to create and express in life? I find this a much easier strategy to really understand what makes you tick. What are those key elements that make you feel like you're living a joyful, fulfilled life? And then act as if you are that person. It's so much easier than creating goals and trying to instill new habits. It's just literally ask, like, who do I want to be? What kind of life do I want to live? What does that look like? And then start going through the motions. This is one thing that I got wrong when I was younger. I thought that acting as if I was a successful millionaire or I was super duper happy, that it had to look that way on the outside, but I wasn't actually doing the work on the inside to take those actions to create that result. So it just ended up being this surface layer facade that wasn't really getting anywhere. When you actually break it down and reverse engineer what it is that you want to do and who you want to be, like let's say a person who is super duper healthy and has an amazing physique as well as long-term health, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you just look skinny or fit well in your yoga leggings. It means that you might be working out every day, getting to bed early, and choosing healthier foods and habits that help support that person that you want to be. I know it's really simple and it seems super easy, but this is something that I really messed up, so I wanted to emphasize this here. The second step is to aggressively remove everything that doesn't fit within your personal brand. It seems so simple, but a lot of times we get FOMO and we look at things and say, that sounds nice or exciting, and or maybe I want to try that for me. But when you are super clear on who it is that you want to become, everything else gets pretty clear too. You start to remove the clutter, the habits, the thoughts, the people that don't support encouraging and creating this persona, your personal brand, that results in living the life that it is that you want to live. So really consider those things. Don't just think about it in terms of the category of things that you want. Like we talked about health. It doesn't mean that you just want to get rid of junk food items or bad sleep habits. You want to consider how all the other areas affect these specific areas to get the most control out of their outcome. So this includes looking at maybe past identity that you default to subconsciously, or specific wants or desires that don't support the person that you want to be. You might say that you look forward to all the Christmas cookies and candies, but you really want to be super healthy and lean. So it's odd because those are the things that you subconsciously and by default want, but is this really aligned with the person that you're trying to become? That's where conflict is created. And so this is where you get to make a firm decision. It's just not who I am anymore. The other thing that I really wanted to make sure to include in here is that you must absolutely aggressively remove what I like to call LFHRs. That is low friction, high reward activities, aka a flood of dopamine into your brain. So activities that hit your brain with a bunch of dopamine with very little effort, lots of ease. We're talking scrolling on social media, online shopping, video gaming, find sugar treats, you name it, those things that just, feel so good. But what we're actually doing is training our brains to be lazy. When you reach for all these LFHRs, what they do is they set an expectation in your mind that life should feel so rewarding and good with very little effort. And so this makes real life, which actually takes quite a bit of effort, feel so daunting and like a huge mountain that we don't want to climb. Why get the reward there when it's so much easier to just grab some sugar cookies from the pantry? So in actually removing some of those things and setting yourself up to earn those things, you condition your brain that all high reward activities equal a great deal of effort to get there. If you want more on that, let me know in the comments below, because I can go on that topic forever and just how it makes a massive game-changing difference in your life. The third step that you have to do is create intentionally, because if you're not intentionally creating, it's not going to happen automatically. The first way that you can intentionally create is from the things that you've removed. Ask yourself if you can replace or upgrade those items to something that actually supports the dream life and the dream persona you're trying to create. So I'll pull an example from my own experience. I was trying to reduce packaged snacks. So what I was finding, because I didn't replace it consciously or upgrade it, was that I would be really hungry and then there would be nothing in my pantry. And this multiplied my probability to ordering on Uber Eats or DoorDash or swinging by the grocery store or the boba shop to get a quick treat, which was much worse than the packaged snacks I carried to begin with. So what I had to do was replace it with 10 quick snack options. And I put this list right next to the pantry door that said snack options. And it was like, if I got hungry and I looked at the pantry and I was like, oh, my snacks aren't here, I just looked at those options and thought, what could I do for myself? I could choose apples with peanut butter, carrots and celery. And I even had some not super healthy, but better options like homemade quesadillas with vegan cheese. One of my clients recently told me that she deleted some of her social media accounts and replaced it with Duolingo because it still fulfilled that need to check and scroll something, but at least she was doing something productive. So figure out what you've removed and how you can replace them or upgrade them with things that support the life that you want to create. When you do this over and over again, it is amazing how much your life will change. The next thing you got to do with intentionally creating is block and schedule time. If you're not blocking the most important things and actually putting it on your calendar, you know more than anyone, this is not going to get done. So I block time to clean my house, to have intimacy with my husband, and even time to call and catch up with friends and family. This is stuff on my actual calendar, because if it's not there, then a whole bunch of other things fill in. And with that, you really want to make sure that you have mini steps that reverse engineer what it is that you want to the daily habits that you're implementing. That goes on your schedule too. So what this means is if you are trying to get into the daily habit of, let's say, working out every single day, maybe this isn't a whole hour trip to the gym, but maybe it's just showing up to your exercise mat for 5 non-negotiable minutes per day. Make it super simple and easy, no brainer. And you want to immerse in those things that you wrote down in number 1. What is part of your brand? Is your brand healthy and fit? Is your brand on top of things? Happy, spending quality time with your family? Double down on the things that support that and double down in those moments as well. I can't tell you how many times we're like, hey, I really want to show up and get some exercise in every day. And it's like, I've got 15, 20 minutes. We choose instead to grab a snack and scroll on social media or catch up on text messages instead of doing a very quick 5 to 10 minute fitness routine. It's in leaning into these simple, small choices consistently over time that's going to change your life. I love making sure that my life design aligns with multiple key elements that support my personal brand. When you really bring your actions and the things that you focus on in line with what supports who you really are, all the decisions are easy, and so is getting to your goals. So the last step that you have to do is just do a monthly audit. I like the monthly audits because it keeps you focused and on track. You've identified your goal, you've cleared the slate, and then you've installed certain things to help support you moving forward. Just every single month, ask yourself, how well did I do? What worked? What didn't work? Where do I have to reset? Maybe you need to break down those micro goals into even smaller steps, but make them easy wins for you. And if you really want 2025 to change, doing these 4 steps is going to revolutionize the way that 2025 looks for you at the end of the year. If you think I'm missing anything, leave it in the comments below. Is this how you plan your years out? Share with us in the community. I'd love to hear it. And if you like content like this, be sure to hit thumbs up and stick around for next time. I'll see you later.